plan. Now, to be able to do that, we must look at compiling the documentation as a part of the business plan. And that is then the appendix, which is important. Also, the supporting material, which we didn't put a lot of emphasis in full. Then the second thing is adopting the business plan to a format that is presentable. Remember now, this is should you have the opportunity to maybe present in front of stakeholders, it must be in such a format that you can just go through your slideshows and everything is in place. That is also what we do for Allan Gray competition. So whoever are interested in maybe participating in that, we normally have 5 slideshows, and then we spend a lot of time on that, where we then actually help you to and support you to get this presentation in a format that looks good and neat and is understandable. Also present the business plan. So that is now what you're going to do. Then the fourth thing is to evaluate the adopted business plan according to the evaluation form. So we're going to put a little bit of emphasis here on managerial components. Okay, so this is then what we're going to learn in this module. Okay, so module 4, as I said, actually the whole of module 4 is just about the business plan. So we looked at the elements of the business plan. I'm sure you can still recall. So the cover sheet, also the executive summary, description of the proposed business, and marketing management plan, management plan, and also financial plan. Please, guys, don't forget about the green pages at the back of your textbook, page 249. There is a cover page, a content page, also an executive summary, the description of the proposed business, the marketing plan, also calculations for the budget, a questionnaire of how you can actually make use of or what you can use as a tool. Then on page 5 of this business plan, there is promotional strategy, advertisement, also analysis of your competitors and competitive advantage, location of the business card, management plan with a contract on page 8. And then on page 9, the floor layout for the business, financial plan, page 10. On 11, we've got the pre-operations cost, and then on page 12, the projected cash flow statement. Page 13, the conclusion, and then page 14, appendix or the supporting material as it is listed there that will be added. So on page 257, you will see there they have included all of the appendixes and additional information. Okay, so as we go through the modules, we will then just add that information to our to the knowledge that we have already. Okay, so we have the elements of a business plan. Then the next thing that we're going to look at is then to adopt this. No, sorry, that was not 5, it's 4. The appendix and the supporting material or documents. This is now where you actually have a specific type of document that will obviously vary from business to business. And this is going to be the supporting documents, supporting the financial decision that will be done by a loan that is done by a financial institution to grant a loan or not. Okay, so we're going to look at 5 different supporting documents here. The first one is a credit report. This is on page 106. And this is then where the financial institution and other credit grantors will determine if you are credit worthy as a business. Financial institutions will use them to determine whether business honor its contractual obligations based on the payment history. So they will look at if you actually pay your installments. This is all part of your credit worthiness. The information in these documents is important for funding of a new business and also existing business. Say, for instance, you want to expand your business. They are going to look at your credit report. They are going to look at if you are credit worthy as a business. Then examples here, 2-year history of all the credit that you've applied for. Also the credit accounts that you have and your payment history with them. So they look at, history definitely. Also any court judgments or defaults that you may have against you in person, especially if you are a sole trader. Next one is the reference letters. And this is then in writing any recommendations by one entity on behalf of another entity. So you can be done by an individual like a client or another business which you actually deal with. It highlights and also verifies the quality of the business's goods and services. And it is motivational or recommendation for potential new clients. So this is going to support them. So the letters will be written by either suppliers, contractors, or clients or customers who are then satisfied with your products or then the services that you have rendered. And this we've seen all over. If you want to get a reference for a business, you go onto Facebook and you just enter the business's name and you go to their website and you will find a lot of information regarding references there. And then obviously you will decide on that which business you want to make use of. Legal documents. This is then when you are when signed and also legally binding on the parties who signed them. So this is any documents that you have like contracts or any partnerships or even MOIs. Can you still remember what that is? Memorandum of Incorporation that is done by companies. So typical legal documents that are mostly used in businesses: contracts for employment, credit agreement, confidentiality agreement, conflict of interest declaration, lease agreements, should you maybe rent property or machinery or any equipment, and then also POPI Act agreement, mortgage, bond, and then also any other loan agreements. Then a resume. I'm going to add a resume to your packs. I've actually added it in this morning to be copied. I don't know who of you do have a resume. Put up your hand quickly. It's like a summary of your CV. No one. Okay. So I've included a resume for you for one of the people who, it's just an employee. Okay, so this is like your curriculum vitae, your CV for every owner of the business. This will then highlight your knowledge, skills, and experience. It will also be referred to as your business profile if you do a resume for your business, which often is on your business website. So if you go to any business's website, you will see with their vision and their mission statement, they will also have a business profile there. Okay, so it should be eye-catching. It should be a summary that highlights the most important aspects of your business. Maybe go to your favorite brand and then go and have a look at their business profile. Examples of a resume and CV will then include, for an individual, the name and the contact information, education and qualification, your employment history. That will include any experience and technical as well as personal skills and references. For a business's resume or profile, it will include details about the business. That is now the name, the contact person, and the logo maybe. Or a slogan can also be included here. The business's products and services that they are selling, its key accomplishments, and its financial viability. The team, meaning all the staff working there, and also its history and mission. Then the last one here under the supporting material that we're doing for our curriculum, copies of contracts and leases. So this will include any legal documents, which is then important to have signed copies of all the employees' contracts as well as the business leases, and that will include property leases as well as machinery or equipment leases. This will include contracts of employees, property leases, equipment of machinery leases, contracts with cell phone companies, and also internet service providers, also contracts with suppliers and credit agreement contracts. Right. A little bit of new information here. Then adopting the business plan. So you have a specific format for any business plan. They may differ, obviously, from template to template. The layout might look a little bit different, but the basics will be more or less the same. And that is what we have here on page 108. There's also a checklist that if you want to set your own business plan, you can maybe just go according to this. Okay, so you must have a cover sheet or cover page, executive summary that includes the introductory or the brief overview of the business, also the self-analysis and the personal resources. Description of the business, specifically the product and the unique features of the product, the key objectives or goals, short term, and then next to that, or the following one will be long-term goals. Significant characteristics of the industry based on SWOT analysis, also competitive advantage, and then the business SWOT analysis. So the first SWOT analysis is for the industry. Then number 4, marketing plan. So here you will identify your target market, the market research by doing a questionnaire, calculation of your market share, also description of the product, the price strategy, the promotional strategy, and then advertising budget, the advertisement, like a pamphlet or whatever you're going to include here, analysis of the competitors, also competitive advantage, the location of the business, and a business card. Page 109, we've got a management plan. So the type of ownership, what have you decided on? Sole trader, partnership, company, what have you decided to open an NPO where you just spend all the money on charity or a specific need in your environment or the area where you stay, whatever you've decided. Then the key skills and responsibilities of staff, organizational organogram, of the business, so the structure, also contracts of employment, the floor layout of the business, and then suppliers and applicable legislation or rules and regulations. Financial plan, you must have a startup capital, also startup costs that you're going to work out, product costing or price strategy, break-even analysis, also projected cash flow statement, projected statement of profit or loss, and then last one, loan requirements and repayments of loan. Then we have the conclusion, the appendix, and a support as we went through in on the green pages just now. Okay, there's another checklist here on page 109, and this is where you will add additional information, where you will then have a prescribed task or added task. Okay, so in module 1, analyze one indirect external environment, task 1. I actually didn't let us do this because this is actually going to be a very good AM, but I didn't set the AM. I have seen the AM. I've asked, sent it through to be printed. So next week we will just spend time on that as well. But yeah, you can go through these as you going to study for module 1 up to 4. So this one, task 1, you will find on page 23. Then module 4, that is create the mission statement and long-term objectives. We did work through a mission statement. This is on page 94 in your textbook, if you want to write that down. And then module 5 is then adopting your supporting material. That was activity 5.1 and 5.2. We are going to do that one. This is then page 107 up to 108. Then module 6, adopting the organizational structure. That is task 6.1 on page 123. 1, 2, 3. Module 7, create a job description for any employee. And this is then task 7.1 on page 147, which we will also do. Module 8, create a zero-based budget for a project, task 8, as well as calculate your break-even point, and that is on page 219, 219. And then module 9, update your purchasing plan, that is task 9, page 245, 245. Okay. So I just want to do the, no, I think we're going to stop there now. So activity 5.1 as well as 5.2. Okay, I want you to work in groups either of 4 or 5 together so that we can do this task. Okay, so refer to the appendix 5B to see an example of each of the above. Okay, so appendix B is right at the back of your textbook, behind the green pages. Towards the last green page, you'll see that is on page 257. Okay, so there is then task 5 at the bottom. And then going on to page 258, where there's a short resume for the business. Okay, we can do that now. Thank you.